Hey guys, welcome back. This is Paul Reed fan here, and today is kind of a part 2 or just a continuation of ranking every single position. We went over the point guards last time, and today, of course, we have the shooting guards going 1 through 5. Couple things from the last video. Got a little hate from what the fuck, one of the two people that watch my videos. Shout out Ben, aka Sauce, on YouTube. One of the GOATs, one of my inspirations. He was upset with my Curry ranking, saying, how the hell do you have Curry below Jalen Brunson? And I will say, with all these rankings, it's a culmination of last year, their legacy, and a little bit of projection. Not a lot of projection, because if I was projecting, then it'd be completely different. But a little bit of projection, along with I also think Jalen Brunson is at that caliber. I watched the Knicks series. Actually, again, I'm not going to go into the Knicks right now. But, yeah, shout out Jalen Brunson. Fucking fantastic for his size. Can score whenever he wants. And high intensity on defense. Shout out Jalen Brunson. And Curry, just a little older. Negative on defense. He was like a average. 1 second. Bless me. No cutting out. One take only. Yeah, Curry's a below average defender now. Still unbelievable on offense. And yeah. Yep. That's that. Also, forgot to shout out some of my favorite creators, some people that I watch just going over all sports. You got Matthew Sponhauer, Theo Ash with the Pro Football Network. Of course, Kenny for real. I think that's his name. Fuck me. MMG. All the boys on number on the board. Pierre, Mike. Oops, forgot the last one. That's on me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Derek. There we go. Who else? Love State of the League with Jokic Joestar and Jokic Joestar and the world famous Pablo Escobar. And that's I feel like I've gone over a lot of them. There you go. Intro complete. Shooting guard time. Top 10 shooting guards. First off, of course, we're going to go who just missed the list. And actually, before I start, for going on, you're going to see, I guess, different players ranked lower. I'm going to go over, I guess what I value in a player. I'm very, very, very high on two-way ability. I guess I'll just stop there. I feel like that explains a lot. I value what you do on the defense. I know the offense is, quote-unquote, I guess it's the more important side of the ball, especially in today's NBA, but defense is extremely important, and you're going to see some high-level defenders, maybe a little higher than you think. Anyway, now we're going to go who just missed the list, or just some shout-outs as well. Shout-out Brandon Miller. Really, really, really good rookie on a shitty Hornets team. He's going to be good. He has all-star potential. I really like Brandon Miller. Shout-out Marcus Smart. He wasn't super healthy last year, but, him on the Grizzlies. I'm just going to quickly go over Grizzlies roster. You got John Morant, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Zach Edey. That's kind of nasty. No one's talking about Marcus Smart, but that's a 3-and-D player that he was good on the Celtics. Obviously, Drew Holiday's better. There's no question about it. So, that replacement is, no question, especially Derek White also blossoming into a good player. So, they're like, fuck it, we don't need Marcus Smart anymore. But, yeah, Marcus Smart's a great player. Shout out Kelly Oubre, Tsunami Poppy, hot as fuck. Shooting goes up and down, but the intensity's there. IQ's not there sometimes. Not a good rebounder. He, hawks rebound down. He's not going to block someone out, but say that he feels like he knows where the ball's going, one every, 10 shots that are missed. He's going to fucking yam on someone. He's going to go out to get it. Shout out Kelly Oubre. I love him, of course. So happy he's back on a good contract. Shout out KCP. Big loss for the Nuggets. He's still a great shooter, and he's still so good at defense. Huge loss for the Nuggets. They lost their third, fourth best player. Shout out Jamal Murray and Jokic 1-2. And then it kind of fluctuates between Aaron Gordon, MPJ, and him as their next option. Shout out Tyler Hero. He can score the ball, and he's white. So, little white boy swag. Can't hate on a white boy with swag. But he does not make the list. And last one, shout out Bradley Beal. Wow, I'll say quickly. I have all these written down, of course. And for the 10th spot, I have like 7 names crossed off. I've crossed off Smart. I've crossed out Beal. I've crossed out Hero. I kept flip-flopping on who I want in my 9 and 10 spot. And for whatever reason, Beal dropped. I had him 9 at one point, crossed out. But he just did not make the list. Mainly last season, his age. He still is a very good scorer. But he just didn't. He wasn't good last year. I mean, now he's like a role player scorer. He's not that star level player anymore. At least not that I'm seeing. He should come off the bench next year on the Suns. He's just not him anymore. No offense, Bradley Beal. Rooting for you. Love you on Washington. I guess I'll go over this quickly. I'm kind of like a Sixers and then second Washington fan. Because first of all, you gotta root for shitty teams, and also it's like they're right next to me. Shout out where I live. Gotta shut the fuck up. Okay, I gotta lock in. Let's start off with number 10. We have LaVine. Zach LaVine, of course. I know I have him over all those players. He's 29 years old, 6'5", 200 pounds, and he hasn't been healthy in a while. So I'm gonna go to his last healthy season. Actually, he was healthy 2 seasons ago. I'm tripping. 2022-23 season, he played 77 games. And in those 77... Resetting. Stop saying that word. I'll cut that out. In 2022-2023 season, 77 games played, he averaged 24.8 points, 4.2 assists, and 4.5 rebounds on 48, 37, 85 shooting. That's a really good season. He was an all-star that year. Really, really, really solid season. And I think he can still play at that level. I think he is gotten underrated because, I mean, the Bulls haven't super produced. This big three of him, DeMar, and LaVine are not. Him, DeMar, and Lonzo are either never healthy or just doesn't work. And he's dropped. There was a lot of trade rumors about him going to the Sixers, and if it wasn't for that contract, I would kind of be down. I think he's a really good player. I think he can score at almost all 3 levels. He's not as much of a rim pressurer, but he still can. His catch and shoot isn't that bad. And I think he's an underrated defender. I think he's a good on-ball defender at 6'5". Again, but that contract is one of the biggest things that it can really hurt you with. Like, in 2026, he'll be making $50 million a year. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money. In the other years, it's like 46, 48. So yeah, he's a good player still. He's still an all-star caliber player, but he's fallen off a little bit on almost every end of basketball with injuries and everything else. But I still think he's better than all those guys I named off the list. It was tough to cut them, but I value his what he can do on the basketball court. Again, and one of the biggest things is that I think he's an underrated defender. And again, still 25 points a game is great. Okay, that's Zach LaVine at 10. Now at 9, I have his running mate, Kobe White. I'm crazy. How do you have him over all those players? Because I love Kobe White. I actually watched I watched around 10 Bulls games last year. I don't know why, because they're ass. But Kobe White, man, he should have won Most Improved Player. Shout out Maxey. Kobe White is 24 years old, 6'4", and 195 pounds. 19 points a game, 5 assists, 4.5 rebounds on 45, 38, 84 shooting. I think this kid has got it. I think he is a bona fide shooting guard. I think he's so good. I think the numbers are going to get better next year with more shots. Obviously, DeMar's gone. And Josh Giddey's going to be passing to him. So, of course his numbers are going to go up. It's better with the ball in his hands, to be honest. He's kind of like Maxey. Maxey is not a point guard. I think Maxey's true position is a shooting guard. And Kobe White's true position is a shooting guard with the ball in his hands. Those exist. I don't what I keep going. But yeah, I'm really high on Kobe White. Again, this is kind of projecting while I have him right here. But I feel like he could be Bradley Beal in his prime. I think Kobe White is a very good player, 6'4". 6'4". I think he plays aggressive on defense, and he is just tough, man. He scores all three levels, not super efficiently sometimes, but he can just. I really, really, really enjoy Kobe White's game. Okay, next at 8, I have Alex Caruso. And this is where we get some of those super high-level role players that are main value on the defensive end. Now, Caruso is 30 years old. He's 6'5", 186 pounds. Last year, he had 10 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, and 3.8 assists. 47, 41, 76. That 41 3-ball is huge. I mean, this is the quintessential 3-and-D player that can help any team. That can take an above-average team and immediately put them into, championship contender. He is still arguably one of the best perimeter defenders. And I value that defense so unbelievably much with a little bit of shot creation. I think he's clogging up passing. He's going to clog up passing lanes. He has a little bit of playmaking. He can take the ball up, and he can shoot the 3-ball unbelievably while locking down another player's best. Small forward to guard. He's ridiculous. Alex Caruso, another white boy with swag. He is fantastic. I couldn't put him higher than this, but I have him at 8, the 8th best shooting guard. Again, the points are fine. That's not his job. His job is to be one of the best defenders in the league. Yeah, Caruso at 8. Call me crazy. At number 7, I have C.J. McCollum. C.J. was hard to rate because he had a pretty good last year, especially a flaming hot end of the year, and then the playoffs were kind of mid. But Zion wasn't there. It's it was weird all around. But yeah, C.J. McCollum at 7. He's 32 years old, a little older, 6'3", 190. Last year he was 20 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, and 4.6 assists on 46, 43, 83. Now look at that 43% from 3. That's on 8.5 3-point attempts per game. He is a absolute flamethrower from 3. And I think that he's going to be so good this year, wherever his role is, with either DeJounte, Zion. Zion driving and kicking to CJ is so underrated. No one talks about that as a 2-game tandem, but that is disgusting. CJ can pull up from deep and just bury that thing. He can punish you if you're trying to stop Zion, who is a absolute beast, just driving. He's probably the best pure drivers in the league. Zion, shout out Zion. Gotta stop shouting out people. But yeah, I like CJ McCollum a lot. I am a 7. I'm probably higher than him than other people. I think he gets forgotten about. But yeah, great. He's a 3. The reason he's here is because of that 3-ball, ridiculous 3-ball. At 6, I have Mikal Bridges. He's 28 years old, 6'6", 209 pounds. And I think that Mikal is it's tough to kind of grade his last season. It was 19.6 points, 4.5 assists, and 3.6 rebounds on 43, 37, 81 from the field. 40, you know what I mean. You know what those numbers are. Actually, if you don't, quickly, sorry. When I go, why am I explaining this? What the fuck? Okay, 43, 37, 81. That's 43 from the field. 37 is the 3-point percentage, and then 81 is the free throw percentage. If you've never looked at basketball stats before, that's what those are talked about. You're welcome, people that are not watching the video. I got to keep going. Mikhail. Mikhail is such a good third option. The perfect third option. He has shot creation. He can knock down a three, and he's a good defender. I think when you turn all of those up to the max, he's like a fringe all-star, amazing role player. I think he's really good. He was the number one option on the Nets. When he got there, he was on fire, and then he came back down to earth this past season, and he got traded to the Knicks. I think he's going to be perfect there. I think that he's going to fit in well with all those super high-level players around Jalen Brunson, and he's going to have a great season. All-around great player. Love Mikhail. I think he brings a lot to any team. Anyway, can't be a number one option. Okay, number two option, perfect three option. Okay, next. Kyrie Irving. Oh no, Kyrie Irving at 5. What are you doing? You have him this low? Yes, I do. And I'll get into it. 32 years old, 6'1", 195 pounds. Last year, he averaged 25.6 points, 5 rebounds, and 5.2 assists on the Mavericks. And they, of course, was integral to their finals run. In that finals run, it was hot and cold. I'll say it. This is why I have him so low. Kyrie brings you nothing if he's not scoring. And in the last year, he's been hot and cold on scoring, like efficiency, and like if he's actually being able to get to his spots and make them. When he is, he's one of the best, most unguardable players in the league. Still, it's the most fun player to watch. I love Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is one of my favorite players of all time. I had his shoes. I love Kyrie Irving. I think he's one of my favorite players. So it was tough for me putting him down here. But if he's not making his shots, he's useless. He's only a scorer. Like there was games and series where he wasn't hitting his three, and he's a nothing. He's a nothing burger. He can't do anything. Like here, I'll go over. In the finals, he averaged 19 points per game on 27% from three. Like it's just like he's one of the reasons they lost that finals. He couldn't hit his shots. He couldn't hit his threes. And if he's not doing that, he's an active negative because the defense never really was there, but especially now at his age isn't there. I love Kyrie. But what I've seen from him, I mean, he's just a plain, flat-out scorer that isn't consistent. And I mean, I can't put him higher than this. I still have him over all those other players because he's fantastic. He's unguardable when he's on. But yeah, Kyrie at 5. I'm sorry, no disrespect. I love Kyrie Irving. Gotta stop. Yeah, I love Kyrie. Number 4, I have Derek White. Whoa! Whoa! Derek White over all them, 4th best shooting guard in the league. Are you off your rocker? Maybe. 30 years old, 6'4", 190 pounds. Last season, he averaged 15.2 points, 4.2 rebounds, 5.2 assists. 1 block a game, 1 steal a game. On 46, 40, 90. Wow. He is the perfect role player. Perfect. I think if I was trying to make a role player in 2K, I would make Derek White. He's a perfect guard role player. He hits his shots. He has a little more creation than someone like Alex Caruso. I feel like he's Alex Caruso turned up a little more to the max. He is such a good defender. And he can control the ball. He can pull up if he needs to. He can do everything. He can be your best player. Not really. Especially not on the Celtics, but in other situations, he could be your best player on a singular night on both ends of the floor. He's the perfect role player. I mean, he doesn't do one thing bad. He's smart. He's not going to make mistakes. He's going to lock you down. There's times that I've watched Derek White get put on Joel because of the switching, and Joel still cook, but it's not easy. Derek White's amazing. And he can still, it's again, I feel like he's Alex Caruso turned up a little bit. Not a little bit, turned up. And that's enough for me to put him at 4 for what he brings to every facet of the basketball court. I have him over all those other players. I know I'm crazy. I know. I love Derek White. Derek White, my GOAT. Not really. But he looks funny. Now, this is where we, of course, cross into the elite tier. I think I'm going to do this little thing where I'll have a little elite alert or something where we're getting into, like, the superstar level players now. And at 3, superstar, Spider, Donovan Mitchell. He's 28 years old, 6'3", 215, and he can score the ball, man. He is electric. 26.2 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, and 6.1 assists on 46, 37, 86 shooting. Now, those don't pop out. Those numbers don't really pop out at you. But when you watch Spider and what he can do on the court, it is ridiculous. And to really emphasize it, listen to his stats in the Celtics series. 51, 53, 79 shooting splits on 32 points a game, 6.3 rebounds, and 5.3 assists. Ridiculous shooting numbers. Was willing the Cavs to win games. When he is on, and he is unguardable. He's such a good scorer. He is ridiculous, and he's the reason that the Cavs didn't trade him for a reason. Because they believe that they can, if they get a good break, then they could still make a run. Maybe not the finals, but at least conference finals. If you get to the conference finals, anything can happen. You know what I mean? Like, they still believe that this core can do something, and it's on the back of Donovan Mitchell. Ridiculous player, Donovan Mitchell. On the Jazz, like he is a very, very good player. And he doesn't get talked about enough because he's on the Cavs, and no one's really afraid of the Cavs. Yeah, I don't know if it's because like they've Jared Allen and Mobley. Those guys are not going to strike fear into your body. Darius Garland is super hot and cold. He was bad in the playoffs. You saw the very floor of the Darius Garland. But Donovan Mitchell was willing those teams to get wins. Like, he willed them past the Magic. He is a very good player. Love Donovan Mitchell. Anyway. We're 22 minutes in. I'm going to start making my videos, like, the mark be, like, 30 minutes. 30 minutes of video. 20 is too short. I talk too much. I yap. Anyway, number 2, I have... Who's going to be? Because you have 2 guys in the mind who I'm going to have 1 and 2. It is Anthony Edwards. Whoa, everyone loves Anthony Edwards. Who doesn't love Anthony Edwards? He's electric. He's fun to watch. He's hilarious. But yeah, he's not the best shooting guard in the league yet. He's 23 years old, 6'4", 193 pounds. Basically 26 points per game, 5.4 rebounds, and 5.1 assists on 46, 36, 83 shooting splits. Now, the reason that he's so good is that he can be your team's number 1 option with defense, with also great defense. But there's some detractors from him. He has a fantastic team around him. And when rating these players, team success obviously matters. And he was pretty good in the playoffs, like minus a bunch of we'll get into it. But he's on great teams. He's on great teams, great defensive teams. And as the number 1 option on offense, they're not that good at offense. I understand Cat is also like the pseudo number 1, number 2, those kind of flip-flop. But Ant is like, at least the way everyone talks about him, he's the number 1 option. And he just isn't there yet to be that consistent. He has a lot of bonehead turnovers. I think he was like 4 a game in the playoffs. And it's like he's making like not good reads. When it comes down to the end of a game a lot of the time, it looks like he's not locked in. You'll see him take possessions off, like where I'll just stand in a corner. If Anthony Edwards did not have Mike Conley to also like ball handle, then he would have. I think he would be hated on a lot more. There's a lot of possessions where he'll take off, whether that's conditioning or just a point of the game, where Mike Conley will be the ball handler and he'll stand in the corner. I'm talking about the lows of Anthony Edwards right now. The highs are Michael Jordan Jr. with a 3 ball. Bazinga. Not really. I do love the Michael Jordan comps are funny. Well, let's be real here. But I think he has potential to be not Michael Jordan, but like a superstar in the league. And I think he is a superstar in name, but I need to see the same thing he did last year for maybe a year or two more, with also fixing those like stupid turnovers and like not being staying locked in through the entire an entire playoff series, because in every single one of them he took off sometimes. Even if it was mentally or it was just levels of play, he took off some. Love Anthony Edwards though, beast of a player. And at number 1, you could have guessed it if you haven't already, it's Devin Booker. Still best shooting guard in the league. He's 27 years old. He's 6'5", 206 pounds. And I'll go over his stats real quick, and I will talk why I have him above everyone else. 27.1 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 7 assists a game on 49, 37, and 88 shooting splits. I mean, I really think, I don't know if the Olympics helped it a little bit, but I think that he is such an all-around great player. The Olympics didn't do anything for me. I'm just saying that that's the last time I really saw him play basketball a lot. But I think the Suns, the way that they've constructed their roster is so weird. They have 3 guys that are like on-ball tough shot makers, and that just doesn't translate to actual good basketball being played. Obviously, they got swept by like a good Timberwolves team, but their hopes are so much better because the individual players are supposed to be extremely good. And Devin Booker is one of those players. I mean, obviously, they were extremely close to winning a finals on the back of him and Chris Paul, of course. And he can do everything. He's a good defender, and I hate to say it, but I feel like he's like modern Kobe the way he plays. I know that's like disrespectful, and I think he has a smooth game. It's not as like he has that sick when he is running to his right and pulling up. Like say top of the key, they get him the ball moving right, and he just has a pull up fadeaway. I feel like it's unguardable. I don't know why. I feel like I haven't seen him miss that. But the reason that I have him over all these guys is I feel like he's the best leader on all these teams. I feel like he can lead a team better than Ant. I feel like he leads his team better than Spida. Obviously now it's weird because he has KD and Beal. But I feel like he is that number 1 shooting guard still. And Ant could definitely take it. If Spida goes on a crazy run, he might be able to take it for 1 year. But yeah. Both roles. He plays, yeah. Anything else? Hey, kept it under 30 minutes. It's pretty good. If you have any arguments, shoot me a text. I mean, there's only like 1 or 2 people watching this video. Or 0, which is okay. I enjoy putting out content. And I'll be putting out small forwards pretty soon. Probably faster than I put out this one. And yeah, again, check out all those guys I said in the beginning. Super entertaining. But yeah. Paul Reed fan out. Enjoy your day.